And we say good morning to you. Happy Tuesday, 20th day of February, 2018. Wake up in Anchi Valley. Back at it here on this Tuesday, 20th day of February. I am Dan Kuntz, your host for the next hour. Steve Harrow, news director to my immediate left. Kat back in control. The team is back together again after I was on my own yesterday.
You were on your own, along with Uriah.
I got through it. Uriah did a great job.
He always does.
Yeah, he always does. And he had to fill in because Kat asked for Uriah to come in and do the show on Monday.
And you had to fill in for me.
I had to fill in for you. I had to do the news. Poorly, I might add.
I was tactically disadvantaged yesterday. Let's just put it that way.
Let's put it that way. Yeah. And in the interest of full disclosure, I did not have my A game yesterday. It wasn't usually Mondays are fine. I have no problems, but I just didn't have it yesterday. We all have days like that. But I'm back. I feel good. I'm well rested, ready to go tackle a short work week for most people. A lot of people had the day off. In fact, a couple of times yesterday afternoon, I ran a couple of errands. It was like nobody doing nothing yesterday.
I think they were all up the hill at Mission Ridge. They had quite a day yesterday.
Yeah, they always do. That's the biggest day of the year.
Yeah, but they had a crowd up there yesterday, apparently.
It's cold. It's 14 degrees outside of our studios. Ooh. That's cold. This is the coldest stretch of weather we've had all winter long. Arctic air mass is here, and you combine the Arctic air that came in over the weekend, Steve, and high pressure. You combine those two things, and there's no place for the cold air to go. Even though we don't have any poor air advisories or air quality things, it's just cold.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I guess there was a record breaker, though, in one part of our state.
Yeah, Pullman. Yesterday, Pullman got down to -6. Oh. How'd you like to be recruiting? How'd you like to be Mike Leach? Come and take your recruiting trip in February where it's -6 in Pullman.
Just seems to me that, you know, anything under 0 is pretty much the same. It's just bitter cold.
Yeah, it's just bitter. We're not going to get anywhere near that. For the record, yesterday's high, 32 degrees, was 11 degrees below normal, and our overnight low on Monday was 17 degrees, 11 degrees below normal. So normally our high would be 43 and our low would be 28. So it was cold yesterday. It will be cold today, and cold on Wednesday, and cold on Thursday. Some relief from the really cold temperatures coming up this weekend. But yeah, this is the coldest stretch we've had since right around the Christmas holiday.
And it looks like pretty much the same through the week, as we'll find out a little later, too.
Yeah, yeah. And it's already Tuesday. We got to remember that. It's already Tuesday. Steve has the news, quite a bit of news to get to. We'll be tackling sports. We got the obscure holiday. We got birthdays. We got everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And coming up in the second half of the show, she's back again. Pat Quinn-Williams, the Living with Autoimmunity seminar is this Saturday at the PAC. Pat was here last year. She brought a guest with her. Patty Eggleston will be joining us as well. So Pat and Patty will be on in the second half of the show. And look what Patty brought me. Brought me honey.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
You're going to have a sweet morning, aren't you?
Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? A little honey, a little little butter on a
English muffin.
English muffin. Thank you. That's a treat for me.
Yeah.
That's a treat for me. So.
Have you ever had crumpet? Have you ever had a crumpet?
In 8th grade, and I missed about a week's of school. Yeah, I missed some school when I had bad case of the crumpets. That's something I really don't want to talk about. 3.5 minutes after the hour, let's take you around north central Washington with our Valley View cameras. As always, batting leadoff, to use my baseball terminology, because it's almost baseball season, is the cross camera. Steve, beautiful morning this morning.
Really great. A few clouds up there, just kind of maybe masking the sun as it makes its way up.
We are going to have a few more clouds today than we had yesterday. Yesterday it was sunny almost the entire day. Late afternoon, early evening, the clouds kind of thickened up and rolled in. And that's what we're going to have today. We're going to have fairly cloudy skies, which means we're not going to be, we're going to be about as warm, 32 or 33, but not as much sunshine as we had yesterday.
Cold and dry.
Cold and dry. Cold and bone dry. I've been going through so much lotion. I'm like swimming in lotion. It's like I can't get enough on me. It just soaks you up in the skin. Camera 2. We find out together. That's got to be Union Valley up in Chelan. Look at that sunrise.
Well, that's pretty, isn't it?
Isn't that beautiful?
Looking to the east?
Yep, actually looking to the south.
Oh, okay, the south.
Yeah, that's Union Valley, Lake Chelan. Then you see the Butte, the upper Butte, the lower Butte. Can't quite make out the Bear Mountain Golf Course. Chelan would be to your left. Good morning, Union Valley. Just about a week ago, we used this camera. There wasn't a snowflake to be found on the ground.
No.
It's back again. It's not covered in snow, but it's too cold for the snow to melt, too dry as well. Camera 3, we're going to, that's
Upper
Steins.
Valley. That looks like the Monitor Flat down there.
Yeah, that's the Monitor. That's right. That's Monitor looking to the west. So you can almost make out downtown Monitor. Not quite. It's just out of your screen. If downtown Monitor was in the screen, you would see it immediately because the Hilton
Well,
the Monitor Hilton there.
City limits are on the same sign, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
yeah,
so,
welcome to Monitor, and thank you. Visit us again. They're on the same sign. Good morning to the Monitor area. Good morning to Cashmere. Good morning to Peshastin. Good morning to Dryden. Good morning to Leavenworth. Good morning
to the sun-drenched Cascades.
Yeah, gorgeous up there. Beautiful. And finally, camera 4 that would be Oh Me, Oh My.
Oh Me, Oh My Gardens.
That's Oh Me Garden. Pretty quiet morning commute, not a lot going on. It's just 5 minutes after 7 o'clock. I was just amazed about how many people really weren't working yesterday. Now, I know it was a holiday, but I was, usually in the middle of the day on a regular work day, there's people out and about doing things. That just wasn't the case yesterday.
That looks fairly quiet.
Yeah, pretty
quiet. A little
quiet.
bit of ripples there on the river, maybe a little breeze blowing the waves up a little bit.
So there you go. That is your views from around this beautiful area, God's country, what we call home now from the National Weather Service. Your forecast, dry and cold. Dry and cold. Arctic air is here, and it's going to be sticking around through Thursday into Thursday night. And then we get a stronger storm system, which isn't packing a big whacker there, Steve. You know what I mean? It's not going to make things crazy, but it is going to warm us up. And that's probably what we're looking for. Increasing clouds throughout the course of the day today. I have about 33, 15 for the overnight low tonight. Wednesday, 34. Quite a bit of cloud cover. Slight chance of flurries on Wednesday night. I wouldn't bet on it. 18 for the overnight low. Then we gradually begin to warm up. 37 on Thursday, 41 on Friday, and partly sunny skies. Then we start talking about a better chance of snow on Saturday. But whatever happens isn't going to stick around because you can see 44 with a high on Saturday. Saturday night, mostly cloudy, 28. We wrap up the weekend with a chance of rain mixed with snow, partly sunny, and a high of 44. So we'll finally get back up to these normal temperatures, which is just about 42, 43 for this time of the year as we start getting to the back half of February, and March is staring us down.
Well, that's nice. A more seasonable weather forecast there for us.
But we have not really had a long stretch of cold weather. Now, granted, it's going to be chilly. It was chilly over the weekend. It's going to be chilly for the next 2-3 days. But we've had many winters that you and I can remember what would be just bitter cold for 10 days, 2 weeks at a time. That hasn't really happened.
But I'll tell you what, the mountains, they've been hammered with snow over the past couple of weeks, and I guess you've got that forecast for us too.
Right now the passes are fine. No advisories, no restrictions. Things are looking good. That's across the board.
Boy, what a difference.
I-90, no problems at all. The roadway is pretty much bare and dry. The big story in the mountain passes, the wind chill values. If you stop to answer Mother Nature's call, say at the summit, like a lot of people do, wind chills -9 because they got wind up there in addition to this. I mean, it's mostly cloudy, but it's only going to be 19 degrees. The problem up there is going to be the wind. I would not want to ski in that kind of cold temperatures.
No.
Just wouldn't want to do it. No advisories, no restrictions on any of the major mountain passes. There's a live shot of Stevens. It's bare and dry. Patches of frost and ice in places. Same deal with Blewett. Pretty much bare and dry. Patches of frost and ice in places. Somebody's passing somebody, as we can see there. Probably speeding. Somebody called the State Patrol. As far as snow in the mountain passes, absolutely nothing until Friday. It's going to be dry, Steve. No problems at all. No snow today, none tonight, none Wednesday, none Wednesday night, none Thursday. Thursday night looks fine. Friday, a couple of inches. Possible. And then maybe a little bit of snow Saturday and Sunday. But they're not looking for any considerable snowfall at all for the rest of this week and really into the weekend.
Interesting.
Yeah. The only story up there is cold. If you think it's cold here in the Wenatchee Valley, it's really cold up in the mountains. So,
well, it's that time of the year.
It is that time of the year.
We're not, old man winter's not done with us yet.
Oh no, oh no. And my guess is, and this is just sheer speculation, I'm spitballing here, I think we're in for one more significant snowfall between now and...
I think so, huh?
And when is the spring equinox? 21st of March, something like that, about a month from now? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. So we still got one more coming.
And we got daylight savings coming up too in March.
Yeah, daylight saving is, what is it, first week in March?
I think
like
so.
That? I can't remember.
Your favorite time of the year.
I hate it when we change the clocks. Daylight saving, standard time going back and forth, it's one of my things that just riles me. I'm a pretty even-keeled guy, but that, I don't know. That's just, I won't go into it. 9.5 minutes after the hour on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Going to take a 1-minute break, and then when we come back, Steve Hare has your Tuesday morning headlines. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
RLS Productions is proud to bring to the NCW Life Channel the Concerts in the Garden Summer Series held at Omi Gardens. The series features performances from Rare Earth's Peter Rivera, Heart by Heart, Too Slim and the Tail Draggers, The Infinity Project, the Wenatchee Swingin' Big Band, and a whole host of other great acts. Tune in Wednesdays at 1:30 and 7 p.m. and Fridays and Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. and 9 p.m. RLS Productions Concerts in the Garden Summer Series, only on the NCW Life Channel.
Bay Equity Home Loans in Wenatchee, serving all of North Central Washington. We make it our priority to learn all about your financial needs. Whether you're buying your first home, refinancing, or want a reverse mortgage, our mortgage professionals are ready to guide you through the loan process. We have a wide variety of loan products to fit your family's needs. Call Bay Equity Home Loans of Wenatchee today for your pre-approval. 509-888-0466.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
Well, good morning and welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Among the stories we're following for you today, another scam alert, folks. The missed jury duty scam is back in the Wenatchee Valley, according to the Wenatchee Police Department. Now, in a Facebook post, the police remind residents that no local court issues warrants for missed jury duty, okay? The current number where the call originates is a 509 area code with a 201 prefix out of Ellensburg. Police say that number is being used to cover another out of area or even out of the country number. Warning residents right now that if it seems too weird to be right, it's probably a scam. So watch out for that one. Again, also from yesterday, Douglas County Sheriff Harvey Jesdahl reports several incidents over the past weekend, with the first occurring Friday at approximately 12:30 in the morning. A deputy on routine patrol in the area of Sunset Highway saw a vehicle cross over the center line, then jerk back within the lane. After pulling that vehicle over and preparing to contact the driver, she inadvertently popped the trunk open. Meanwhile, Sheriff Jesdahl said the female driver reportedly smelled of alcoholic beverages and performed poorly on her field sobriety test. Driver, 26-year-old East Wenatchee resident, was arrested for DUI and transported to the Chelan County Jail without incident. Also, at about 1 o'clock in the morning Sunday, Douglas County deputies called to a report of trespassing at an apartment complex in Bridgeport. Deputies arrived at a laundry room used by tenants where they observed a ladder leading up to a crawl space where they could hear talking. After ordering the persons out, they were both arrested for trespassing, first degree, but were released at the scene with a criminal citation. Suspects were identified as 31-year-old Antonio Infante of Brewster and 21-year-old Aaron Phillips of Tonasket. Also Sunday morning, deputies and Brewster police responded to a report of gunshots at about 8 in the morning. Deputy searching the area on foot when he heard the engine of a vehicle being revved up. He waved the vehicle down and then contacted the driver, who has been identified now as 29-year-old Francisco Lorenzano Basurto of Bridgeport. Deputy spotted a Smith & Wesson 9mm handgun lying in the seat with the slide locked back and the magazine empty. The serial number had been altered. And the 29-year-old was placed under arrest. Second empty magazine was found in his coat pocket. Suspect told police the gun was not his, but he could not recall the name of the owner, and he was also found to be driving under the influence. Deputies booked him at the Okanagan County Jail for driving under the influence. The case has been forwarded to the prosecutor for consideration of weapons charges as well. Finally, in another incident, at about 9:30 Sunday morning, deputies went to a Bridgeport residence to search for a wanted person identified as 24-year-old Derek Charlie of Omak. A female at the residence stated she had not seen him in hours, but when a deputy called out his name, well, he appeared from the back room. He was arrested without incident for a DOC warrant for escape from community custody. Charlie was then transported to the Okanagan County Jail, and there he was booked on a warrant. Also, a woman was hospitalized in Grant County with burns after a vehicle fire yesterday. That's after her companion apparently pumped gas into a garbage can that was located inside his car. Responders were called at about 8:15 Saturday morning for a vehicle fire at Cascade Grocery Store, where deputies learned a 1988 Ford Tempo had parked at the gas pump, and the male driver had attempted to pump gasoline into a garbage can that was in the back seat of the car. The female passenger, who was smoking a cigarette at the time, apparently caused the fumes to ignite, engulfing the car in flames, as you can see here. The woman got out of the car, but she sustained severe burns. A bystander drove her to Samaritan Healthcare in Moses Lake for treatment. Her current condition is unknown. The male driver ran away on foot. After the fire was out, deputies discovered a large quantity of marijuana in the trunk of the car as well. The vehicle was seized as evidence. That investigation, by the way, continues. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Tipsters, of course, can remain anonymous. Also, the state Senate has signed off on abolishing the death penalty in Washington state. Chamber voted 26 to 22 last Wednesday to repeal the law and instead change capital punishment to life in prison without parole. There was vigorous debate prior to the vote, with the bill's prime sponsor, GOP Senator Maureen Walsh, speaking in favor.
There have been some comments that have been made about, the fact that it was an initiative of the people. I think that initiative was passed years before we had additional information that would maybe make us rethink this policy in our state. I don't profess to have any religious motivation for this bill. My motivation is simply, this seems to be a flawed policy. We spend a lot of money, our tax money, appealing these decisions, and we have done this for many, many years. We save about $1 million to $1.5 million is the rough estimate. And again, I don't like to put a dollar amount on anything. We're talking about people's lives. But the reality is, I've spoken with enough of the families of the victims to realize and understand that the majority of them really do not get great vindication from the death of the perpetrator who killed their loved one.
Meanwhile, testifying in opposition to the death penalty abolishment was Mark Schessler, a fellow Republican.
I have no trust in the judiciary that life without parole really means life without parole. In our court system today, does anybody have absolute confidence in anything? I don't. And for something as sensitive to our population as this, I don't have it. Maybe a vote of the people would have had it, but I'll be voting no.
That bill has passed out of the Senate, with 4 Democrats voting against it and 5 Republicans in favor, including 12th District Senator Brad Hawkins. That bill is now headed to the House. A proposed carbon tax in Washington state is on the agenda for discussion this morning at the Chelan County PUD Commissioners' morning work session. The proposal is currently being debated in Olympia. It received a hearing last week before the Senate Ways and Means Committee. Senator Reuben Carlisle sponsored the bill.
The guiding principle is that the program has to first and foremost work. It has to reduce CO2 emissions dramatically and substantially, and this program accomplishes that. Gets us to 25% below our 1990 level or 1995 level by 2035.
Meanwhile, among those raising concerns about the bill was Carolyn Logue with the state's Washington Food Industry Association.
There are 2 things that our industry needs: trucks and electricity. We have to keep our food cold. We have to keep the stores warm. We have not found a way to transport food to all our little stores and all the communities around the state without using a transportation truck system. We are very concerned about what the impact does in an industry that generally in our retail stores averages about 1% profit margins. Meanwhile, the PUD has been analyzing the bill, and commissioners are set to discuss it at their work session this morning. It's open to the public. It starts at 10 a.m. And NCW Life will be covering that meeting, and we'll have more on it coming up at 5 o'clock on our NCW Life News with Grant Olson. One final note here, kind of interesting, Dan, that the TV game show, Jeopardy, featured what turned out to be a very challenging topic, which stumped all 3 contestants the other night. It involved a familiar geographic location.
U.S. geography. Each correct response will end with a double E. Good.
U.S. geography for 2000.
Located on the Columbia River in central Washington, this city calls itself the apple capital of the world. Frank.
What is Spokane?
Nope. Robert Aaron? Spokane doesn't end in a double E. Wenatchee does.
And at least Alex Trebek can pronounce Wenatchee.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. I thought that was pretty neat.
Jeopardy is my favorite game show because the winner gets money.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about, trips and vacations and cars. Just if you win, you get money, and the other two people get a small little
Some
stipend.
people get a lot of money, too,
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Jeopardy can be seen weeknights here at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, hosted by, no, I'm sorry, that's the news.
That's our news.
That's our news. Grant Olson handles the news duties at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. So you have 3 chances to watch it on television, or as we'd like to say in the business, TV, or you can watch it on demand. We get it up and running mid to late afternoon once we get it all put together. And you can watch it on demand by going to our website, ncwlife.com. Go to the watch on demand thing, and there you go. You can watch it on demand or watch it live because we stream all the time. So whatever is on TV at this very moment, you can go to your computer, your tablet, your phone, whatever the case may be, and watch the NCW Life channel because you are a part of our team, aren't you, Steve?
Absolutely. We're interactive here. As a matter of fact, we're always looking for news ideas, folks. If you have a recommendation or a suggestion for a topic or an issue you think we should be covering, contact us any number of ways by email. Our address is news@ncwlife.com. You can also contact us by clicking the Contact tab there on our website at ncwlife.com. Facebook, also on Twitter, good places you can contact us. And as always, you can call us with breaking news on our hotline at 888-NCWL.
12 degrees outside of our studios.
Ooh.
If you live in Canada, it's minus 11 Celsius. That's cold. 12 is cold.
Saw a dog frozen to a tree.
Yeah, you and your... Did you swallow Bob Hope's joke book? It's 22 minutes after the hour. 12 degrees. We'll get up to about 32 or 33. It's going to be cold pretty much all this week. Some relief coming our way from the cold temperatures on Friday, but we trade that off with warmer temperatures with still fairly cloudy skies. Just a heads up there. All right, take a quick break. When we come back, sports, the obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike McNally's opinion. And then in the second half of the show, my guests will be Pat Quinn Williams and Patty Eggleston. The Living with Autoimmunity Seminar is this weekend. We'll talk about that. It's always good to see Pat. She comes by and sees me a couple of times a year, and so we're looking forward to that conversation. All coming up between now and 8 o'clock, live from Studio 7 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
My name's Robert Duff. Current and previous occupation is architect, engineer, and a lawyer. Grew up here in Washington, born in Moses Lake. When I first came to CVCH, was looking for a place to get some dental work done. I was really impressed with the people at the counter. I mean, they were just on top of it. It only took her like 15 minutes to do the job. I didn't feel anything. The technology is so great, you don't even realize you're at the dentist. These people are so professional. I would have any one of these people in my home for dinner. These people are family.
And welcome back to this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 20th day of February 2018. Let's do sports. Cashmere High School has a brand new head football coach to replace the retiring Phil Zukowski. Athletic Director Jeff Carlson says they're hiring a young college assistant from the Spokane area.
Yeah, we're excited to announce that we hired a new football coach. His name is Brian Brimmer. He comes to us from Whitworth University, where he spent the last 3 years as assistant coach there for the Pirates. He's served as the offensive line coach as well as the head recruiting coordinator there. He also played college football there he was a 2-year starter at Whitworth, and he'll be teaching as well, taking over for Phil Zukowski. He'll also be teaching PE and weights. So, yeah, we're real excited to get Brian in here. Him and his wife, Mackenzie, who's a 6th grade teacher. They're both going to be moving to the community, so we're real excited to get them here.
Carlson says Bremer was selected from a large pool of candidates.
Yeah, we had a little over 20 candidates that applied for the position, the head football position, as well as our high school boys PE position. So we narrowed the field down to 4 and offered the position to Brian on Wednesday. He really impressed the interview committee with his energy, enthusiasm, his vision for the program. So just it seems like just going to be a great fit for our football program as we move forward.
Carlson added that, yes, Phil Zukowski, the outgoing coach, did play a role in the hiring of his successor.
Coach Zukowski met with all 4 of our final candidates, spent a lot of time with them. We allocated a half hour where they were able to sit down with Coach Z and give them the opportunity to ask Coach Z questions. And, you know, he also was part of the tour. He took each of the candidates around, introduced them to some assistant coaches. So, yeah, we definitely leaned on Coach Z for his expertise as well. And yeah, you know, it was just everyone's real comfortable with the hire that we made, and excited to get Brian here to continue the great tradition of Bulldog football that we have going here.
Carlson says that Bremer will be in Kashmir soon. Coach Phil Zukowski is scheduled for surgery, and so the new coach will be filling in, covering the PE classes, and of course working with the players in spring and summer drills. So let's talk about our sports broadcast schedule for the week. We'll begin with tonight here on the NCW Live channel. We'll replay last week's girls play-in game between Eastmont and West Valley tonight, right here on the NCW Live channel. Eric Granstrom and Grant Olson were there on the play-by-play. That'll be followed Thursday with hockey night, featuring last Friday's Wenatchee Wild game against the Trail Smoke Eaters. On Friday, set your DVRs, because we're going to be playing back that unbelievable double overtime play-in game between Eastmont and Wenatchee in boys basketball. Now, speaking of watching our high school sports, you can do it on demand. Go to our website, ncwlife.com. On the main menu bar on the top, you'll see Watch Now. Then there's a subcategory called Sports Broadcasts. You click on that, and you can watch games that previously aired right here on this very channel. Right now, we have about 20 games uploaded, including the Eastmont versus Wenatchee boys playoff game from last week. Check it out. Go to ncwlife.com and click on Watch Now. The winter sports season is winding down. We're already planning our spring sports schedule broadcast on the NCW Life channel, but there is still some playoff games to be taken care of. Here's what's on tap for later this week and into the weekend. Wenatchee High School, busy place Friday and Saturday regional playoff basketball. On Friday, the Antioch girls will take on Riverside Christian at 6 o'clock in a winner to state loser out 1B regional playoff game. And then at 8, 2B playoffs. The Orville boys will face Friday Harbor. That's also a winner to state loser out contest. Also on Friday at Ellensburg High School, the Brewster boys play Kittitas at 8 o'clock. Both teams have already punched their ticket to the 2B state tournament. This is just for seeding purposes and whether or not they play on the first day of the tournament or have a bye into the second round. Saturday features 2 afternoon games at Wenatchee High, starting with the Brewster girls and Mossy Rock. That's a winner to state loser out game tipping off at 2 o'clock. That's followed by a 1A regional matchup between Kashmir girls and Lakeside girls, Lakeside out of 9 Mile Falls. The winner will advance to the quarterfinals of the state 1A tournament. The loser will have to play in the first round of the tournament in Yakima next Wednesday. Kashmir and Lakeside tip off at 4 o'clock. And that's sports on a Tuesday. 28 minutes after the hour. It's chilly. It is 12 degrees outside of our studios. If we're lucky, we'll get to 32 degrees, so be sure to bundle up if you haven't headed out to work already. Let's do the obscure holiday of the day today, always celebrated on February 20th. Today is National Love Your Pet Day, and if you have a pet, it's pretty much every day, wouldn't you say? A couple of fun facts about pets. Got a lot of them here. How many households own a pet? 60 million households have at least one dog, 47 million households have at least one cat, 12 million households have freshwater fish, 8 million households have a bird, sometimes more than one. 4.7 million households in this country have a reptile. How about the number of animals owned? The number one, kind of surprising here, when you think about it, it's really not that surprising. There are 140 million freshwater fish swimming around in tanks and houses all over the United States, because you can put a bunch of fish in a tank and they don't take a lot of room. Next up is cats, 94 million cats, 90 million dogs, 20 million birds on down the line. And the benefits of owning a pet are many, many-fold. They lessen the chance of developing allergies. It strengthens the immune system of children. Having a pet is a great icebreaker. You go out, walk the dog, and you meet new people, or you get together with kennel clubs, or you go down to off-leash parks. Great way to meet people. It's better for your overall health. It improves your own fitness level because you're taking the dog for a walk. May even help with depression. National Love Your Pet Day, always celebrated on February 20th because we don't know. Exactly half past the hour on this Tuesday, February 20th. Today in history, 4 items all over the board here. First of all, happy birthday to the U.S. Postal Service. That was the original logo before 1971, when the U.S. Postal Service was a government entity. Now, of course, it's a separate entity altogether. But the Postal Service Act, passed by Congress, signed into law by President George Washington on this date, 1792. So the post office is 226 years old. The United States Post Office Department then became the Postal Service. Now, of course, it's been its own thing. But that was a logo that they used from the very beginning all the way till 1971. It's kind of cool. In fact, I like it better than the logo they use now. So hug a mail carrier today, all right? Postal Service is 226 years old. Celebrating its 146th birthday, my favorite museum in the world, the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. It is the largest art museum in the United States. 7 million visitors a year visit the Met, it's known as the Met. It is the second most visited art museum in the world, behind the Louvre in Paris. It's the 5th most visited museum of any kind, and starting next month, they're going to change the admission. The Metropolitan Museum of Art for 145 years was simply pay as you go. Paid, if you had a nickel, you could pay a nickel. If you wanted to pay $100 to go in, you paid $100. It was essentially free. Starting next month, citizens of New York City can go to the Met for free, but if you're from out of town or out of state, it's going to cost you $25. It's been kind of controversial, but the Metropolitan Museum of Art, absolutely fantastic, and you can't. It takes you a couple of days to soak it all in. Is 146 years old today. 47 years ago today, the emergency broadcast system, oops, accidentally fired in a really bad way. Now, the EBS has been replaced by the EAS, the Emergency Alert System. But back in this date in 1971, it was supposed to be a test. And the guy, the teletype operator, accidentally sent out the wrong tape, which triggered a national emergency. And it took them about an hour to get this whole thing figured out. Remember what happened to Hawaii about a month ago? This was just as bad, if not worse, because although it was a complete false alarm and nothing was really going on, the vast majority of TV and radio stations did nothing because it was a scheduled test. It was a scheduled, this is a test of the emergency broadcast system, this is only a test. It was supposed to be a test, turned out that they blew it and they triggered it nationwide, but most of the TV and radio stations simply ignored it. Oops, happened on the state in 1971. It's the only time it happened, by the way. And one of my favorite little stories, 10 years ago today, it's kind of it goes like this. A car was impounded in London. The guy never claimed the car. The car became the property of the police, and so the police auctioned off the car and the contents of the car. Inside the car was the 1976 Rolling Stones album entitled Black and Blue, and some guy bought the album. Cost him $2.79 at the sale at Scotland Yard. $2.79 is what the guy paid for the album. Turns out the album was autographed by the Rolling Stones, and John Lennon and Yoko Ono and Paul McCartney and Linda McCartney and George Harrison. And 10 years ago, the guy who bought it for $2.79 sold it at auction for $6,000. Happened on this date 10 years ago. And finally, we have birthdays to get along to you. 4 of them. Sidney Poitier, 91 years old today. First African-American ever to win an Academy Award for Best Actor. He won it for Lilies in the Field, and he was the top box office draw of 1967. 3 great movies, back to back to back, all dealing with race and racial issues. To Sir with Love, In the Heat of the Night, and Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. The great Sidney Poitier also does great charity work. He's 91 years old today. Happy birthday to him. The last of the Kennedy siblings is 90 years old today. Jean Kennedy Smith, the 8th of the 9 children of the Kennedy siblings. She is the last one left. Longest living, too, at the age of 90. Of course, her brother was the president. She had 2 brothers who were senators. Her sister, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, founded the Special Olympics. Jean Kennedy Smith, American diplomat, she was also the ambassador to Ireland, is 90 years old today. We lost this rock and roll legend just last year. Walter Becker, one half of Steely Dan, was born in the state in 1950. Co-founded Steely Dan, played bass, played guitar, wrote lots of great songs. The great Walter Becker from Steely Dan also did some couple of good solo albums. Was born in the state in 1950. Of course, he passed away last year at the age of 67. And Cindy Crawford, the American model and businesswoman, is 52 years old today. Not just a pretty face. She graduated from DeKalb High School in DeKalb, Illinois in 1984 as the valedictorian. And she earned an academic scholarship to study chemical engineering at Northwestern University. That's hard to do. She spent about a semester at Northwestern University, and somebody said, "You're pretty. You should get into modeling." And she got into modeling instead. Cindy Crawford is 52 years old today. And a happy birthday to my brother Mark. I want to throw that out there. My brother Mark is, well, he knows how old he is. Happy birthday, Mark. Thinking about you on this February 20th. 35 minutes after the hour, going to take a quick break. When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. And then our friend Pat Quinn Williams is back for an encore appearance, and she brought her friend with her, Patty Eggleston. We're talking living with autoimmunity. The big seminar is this weekend. We'll talk about that and much more with those two lovely young ladies when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to come down and check out what we're all about at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Great beer, good food, and an endless source of entertainment for the whole family. Our Honey Blonde beer is flying off the shelves at your local grocery store. But I tell you what, it's even better on tap. And while you're here, try our signature Badger sauce with one of our delicious meals. Whether you're in the mood for a wrap, salad, pizza, or nachos, Badger Mountain Brewing has what you're looking for.
I'm Jenny Rojanasatian, and this is Guada TV. Every week we will be bringing you a first look at North Central Washington business, tech, and education news. You'll hear from local influencers and innovators who live right here in the Valley. Together, we'll discuss hot topics, current events, and resources that can support your business, our schools, and this community. Join me every week, and let's get inspired.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat, poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Hi there, my name's Patrick and I'm the branch manager here at New American Funding. Applying for a home loan is an exciting time. You may have a lot of questions about how to meet your home loan goals, the loan process, or your borrowing options. We're here to help. We do things differently here at New American Funding. Not only do we have an array of loan products and a team of specialists to support you, but we get to know you personally. We want to earn your trust and business for life. So stop by our Wenatchee or Chelan office or give us a call today.
Why live your life in the dark? At Schmidt Electric, we're one of the oldest and most respected companies in the Pacific Northwest.
Founded by my father in 1960, we have grown from 2 employees to 130.
From small commercial businesses to heavy industrial companies, we employ some of the most respected contractors. We're also a proud member of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers for over 50 years. Call us at Schmidt Electric today.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm not rich by any means, but I'm going to go to sleep tonight in a warm, safe place. I have a pretty good job. My car starts right away, and I have more than enough clothes to wear, believe it or not. Now, all in all, my life is pretty comfortable, and I like it that once in a while, my wife and I can afford to go out to eat. So when I do, I leave at least a 20% tip. I figure for some wait persons, this might be their first entry-level job. My waitress might be a single mom. The waiter or waitress might be someone working a second job just to make ends meet, so always, And especially when I say grace at a restaurant, particularly then, I try to be a good tipper. God forbid a waitress should think Christians are only generous with their talk, right? Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
In our experience, some people are just cut out for charter college and for success in a new career. These charter types are hard workers. Charter types go above and beyond. And charter types are responsible. If you're ready to get to work making a better future for yourself, you're just our type. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
Quality, comfort, style, service. This is the Crown Furniture difference for more than 50 years. Their commitment to you is to provide the best furniture and mattresses the industry has to offer at a great price. Shop Crown Furniture today to experience the difference. And remember, free setup, delivery, and haul away in their service area is just another way they show they care.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
This is TV. This is TV Set Free. TV everywhere from Localtel sets you free to watch what you want, where you want. Catch your favorite networks, including live TV, ready to watch on any web-connected device for no extra charge. That's TV Set Free. Enjoy the extra value Localtel delivers with TV everywhere. Visit localtel.net and sign up today.
Faces, huh?
And we're back at 42 minutes after the hour. Whenever Pat Quinn Williams calls me up or emails me and says, Dan, can I do the show? I say, of course you can, Pat, because we love Pat, and she's brought along another guy. We got Pat and Patty here.
Yes, works well.
Pat Quinn Williams has been on the show 4 or 5 times, something like that.
At least, whenever you started, and then started with you on the radio.
Yep, if you make it to 6 episodes, we issue a commemorative coin, by the way.
Oh, right.
So,
well, I'm looking forward to it.
We're here to talk about, Pat Quinn Williams is to my left, and Patty Eccleston is all the way to my far left. We're here to talk about what's going on this weekend at the Performing Arts Center, just like we did last year. It's the Living with Autoimmunity symposium, seminar, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to talk about that, but first let's touch base. I haven't seen yet. How are things?
Good. Things are going well. I'm helping out with now. It's called the Wenatchee Autoimmune Network. We have a support group that seems to be going well. This is our 4th year doing the seminar, and it is March 3rd, so it's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay. March 3rd, 2 weeks. I said this weekend, it's in 2 weeks.
And I'm still doing the MS walk.
Yes,
still in charge of that.
And we'll talk about that. Your husband, what's going on? Where are we?
Rich is doing fine.
Okay.
Rich has MS, for people that don't know, and he's had it for 40 years at least. And last year at his checkup, the doctor said the medicine is working. So that's the good part.
They put him on a new.
It's a pill form.
Okay.
Which has been nice, and it's only been out for a few years. The pill form.
Mm-hmm.
The other medicine, the shots, have been out since '92.
And for those of you who don't know, what's going on here is that the pills are working, but the side effects can be pretty devastating, right?
Sometimes.
Okay, so that's the balance that they have to do when they're treating MS.
And his, so far the side effects have been minimal.
Mm-hmm.
Which is even better. And taking a pill instead of a shot every day.
That's good.
It's so much easier.
The genesis of this, you said this is the 4th year?
Yes.
Who got together and said we should do something like this?
A lady named Judy Rising started. She moved back here from Seattle, and she has a foundation called the A3 Autoimmunity that she had started when one of her sons had passed away from an autoimmune disease. And when she moved here, she connected. Her and I had been in a book group together.
Okay.
And so we reconnected, and she knew I was doing a lot with the MS walk. And so she wanted to start a group, and she wanted to start the seminar. And Matt Cadman at the PAC has been generous enough to let us use the auditorium each year. So
He's just that kind of guy.
He is, and that helps. That's 90% of what we needed right there. And so each year we get together like 3 speakers, and a few years we've had a panel discussion. But the idea is to get information out to people, because autoimmune diseases, it's MS, lupus, diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis. That's just a few of the common ones. And everyone knows someone that has that, something like that. And we just want to get the information out, let them know, what's the latest treatments, what are things you can do, and here's some other people that have some of the same problems, and let's talk together and try to figure things out.
Patty, a little something about you. I don't know how comfortable you are talking about lupus.
Okay.
But we want to fill in the blanks for our viewers because you're new to the show?
Yeah. My name is Patty Eggleston, and I've had lupus for 35 years. And like Pat said, with the autoimmune, what we know is 23 million people in the United States are affected by autoimmune. There's over 80 of them. MS and lupus are some of the common ones that people know.
I have a general idea of what multiple sclerosis is. Lupus, can you fill in the blanks for me of that? What exactly is it?
Lupus is one of the autoimmune that commonly affects women of color. 90% of the people diagnosed with autoimmune or diagnosed with lupus are of color and also female. So what we look at with autoimmune is genetics, infection, and environment. And with it being 75% are women, they also are talking about the hormone.
35 years of living with lupus. Has that been good days and bad days, that kind of stuff?
I will say that I was given all of the arsenal at the beginning of 4 common drugs that were used for lupus. I was given those. I was on prednisone for 28.5 years, anywhere from 10 to 200 milligrams of prednisone a day. So
that's a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. When my rheumatologist retired, my new one, I said my #1 goal is to be off of prednisone. So he has worked very well. So I am prednisone free. But it has its ups and downs. I will say that for a long time I've experienced remission, so I have very few symptoms.
That's good news. Last time I talked to you, Pat, you gave me some alarming numbers. The number of multiple sclerosis patients and cases in the Pacific Northwest, specifically our area, is higher than any other place in the country. Which is just, and they don't know why.
No, it's the same thing with why do people get MS, and it seems like we're in the correct latitude. I think it's Finland has the most people in the whole world, and they're on the same latitude as us. They figure if you're Northern European, Scandinavian, you seem to have a tendency to be able to get that.
Is it the same for lupus? Is there a higher number of lupus cases in the Pacific Northwest than there is, say, elsewhere? Do you know?
No.
There isn't?
Okay.
So it's pretty much isolated to MS. What are people going to learn on set? First of all, where did you find these people? These are some heavy hitters here, Pat.
Well, again, Judy's just a wizard
Judy.
coming up with people. She asks us for names, but being from Seattle, she is really connected with the Benaroya Research Company, and so she got Dr. Eddie James to come, and I guess he's going to tell us about the status of research, and he's able to talk to people on a normal level, not a scientist level.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that, though. What's in the pipeline, what's coming up, and Benaroya Research has been one of the top places in the country in doing research for autoimmune diseases. Allegra Hart, we had her last year, and everyone really liked her a lot, so we asked her to come back. And this time, we're having her implement how to do maybe a vegan diet or more of a natural diet into your lifestyle. How can you put that in? Not everything works. You hear a lot of these things like, oh, you have to do this, get rid of everything, and people are like, no thanks.
Yeah.
And so we asked her to just tell people, maybe try one thing, try this. And so we're gonna have her come. And Grace Volson is a physical therapist at the hospital. She happens to be Rich's physical therapist, so we know her really well.
Phenomenal.
And so she's also talked with our support group, and she's going to talk about how movement can help, and exercise can help with pain reduction.
Because we have such a high number of autoimmune cases in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle has become a hub for research. They're ahead of the game here because of so many cases, and that's, I want to say
helps.
that. Yeah,
yes,
it certainly helps. And they've made progress, right? I mean, last time I saw you there, we're getting there. We're not there, but they're getting there, right?
They just keep finding a little nugget every time, and it just keeps getting a step closer. And it's almost like if they find a cure for one thing, maybe MS or cancer, it's going to tumble, and they're going to find it for everything, and it's.
I'm holding out hope. I got faith.
Right.
Yes.
So, is there a program? Do you walk between booths? How does the whole thing? What at 10 o'clock on Saturday, March 3rd? What can I expect if I walk in the doors?
What they're going to do, come in, and we ask that you pre-register, just so we know the names. Judy always thought at the beginning it would be nice. Everybody has a name tag, so you can just say, "Oh, hi Dan, hi Patty," you know, and. So we'd like people to register beforehand, and I'll give those before we leave. But you come in and you go into the auditorium, and the first speaker will get up and speak for probably a half hour. So we have a break. This year we're having Tandy Canterbury, from the owner of The Hunter's Wife,
Ooh, that's
is
good food.
walking across the street and bringing us some of her healthy snacks for people to try.
That's worth going right there.
It is.
Yeah.
And so she'll be there. Then we'll come back in, and Allegra will speak, and then also then Grace, and there'll also be times for questions. We have a few booths. We're always looking for people that are interested in having a booth to show their product.
Like perhaps some honey.
Some honey. There we go.
The honey,
Yeah.
Lupus Ladies honey will be there. Yes.
Tell me about this, Patty. Tell me about the
Yes.
impetus behind your honey. And by the way, thank you. I will be consuming this. Where did Lupus Ladies honey come from?
Lupus Ladies honey came from an idea that I wanted to make more of a contribution to the Lupus Foundation, just because of the research and the services they provide people who have lupus and the caretakers. And so I was getting 2 hives from on April 15th, and so I thought, oh, I'll sell it, and 100% of the proceeds will go to the Lupus Foundation. So, and it is increased, so I'm adding 2 more hives this spring.
Oh, good.
So yeah, so 3 hives.
What would this normally cost me to donate to the Lupus Foundation?
It's $7.
Okay, don't leave until I give you your $7.
No,
all
no,
right?
actually it was a gift, because we really appreciate just the opportunity to invite everyone to the event.
Where, if they can't make it, but they say, I'm in, I want to help Patty out, where can they find this just generally around the Wenatchee Valley?
They can't.
Not yet.
They can't, because there's truly a large market of honey beekeepers that provide through the Pybus market or the farmers market. So they could call me.
Okay.
You know, my number's in the phone book, and I'd be glad to provide it. I will sell them at the event, and yeah.
Have you taken to making honey? Did you fall right into it, or?
You know what? Before I retired, I really investigated and was very interested in beekeeping. I mean, just for an ecological point of view, I think that bees play an important role. So I took a class, and when I retired, I thought, I'm going to do it. So that Christmas, my husband gave me a beekeeping suit and my first brood boxes. So I kind of like had to do this whether I wanted to or not, you know. And it takes you to a Zen world, because what we know is the hormones you release, the stress hormones, is what stirs up the hive and gets them excited, and where you end up getting stung. So I just have to be really calm when I'm inspecting the hives.
Put you in that nice little area. Right?
Yes,
And
yes.
nothing says love like a beekeeping suit.
Oh, good.
You know,
Yes.
you must open that up and say, are you trying to tell me something, honey?
It is totally, well, this year I got an extractor, but
Okay.
it is totally, he understands my heart, he knows where I'm going. Yeah.
You were a professional educator for a long time, right?
I was.
And lupus never held you down? You were able to get up and go to work and do the job that you were supposed to do?
When you look at the statistics, 4% of the people diagnosed with an autoimmune apply for Social Security, SSI, disability. But no, I have 38 years in education. I was a teacher, a special education teacher, program coordinator, building principal, assistant director. It did not hold me down, but actually I had a mindset that I was going to do everything I could to be the best person and look at all the things I have control of. And my attitude was one of them.
You miss hanging around the kids?
I love kids, I love schools, I love staff. I do miss the kids, but I volunteer in areas that I wouldn't have been able to if I was working.
I first got to know this lovely young lady to my left by being involved in the MS Walk 10 years ago, maybe even longer
than that. Yes, longer.
And the MS Walk will be back coming up on April 14th. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about the MS Walk while we're thinking about it, and we'll also give you all the information you need to know about Saturday the 3rd, all coming up. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your Stoke?
We know crunch.
Every golfer aims to play their best, and smart golfers turn to the Golfer's Edge to get the Golfer's Edge. PGA professional Ed Payne has you covered from tee to green. You can work on your swing or play 18 in air-conditioned comfort on the golf simulator. Tanya's Corner has all the apparel the golfer needs at sale prices. And Ed can even rebuild your favorite set of clubs or custom make you a brand new set. Ask how you can qualify for a free 30-minute lesson at the Golfer's Edge on Mission between Kittitas and Yakima.
Ready Medi is healthcare made simple and affordable. We are the only direct primary care practice that provides personalized and holistic health care in North Central Washington. Our wellness model not only helps prevent heart attacks and strokes, but we also optimize hormones. Affordability is our goal. For example, hip surgery locally is $45,000, whereas our members have the same access for $15,000. Ready Medi, healthcare made simple and affordable.
Just a couple minutes left in this program. Pat Quinn Williams to my left, Patty Eggleston all the way to my immediate left. We're going to wrap these things up talking about what's going on Saturday the 3rd, but real briefly, because I have you here, MS Walk is back. When is it? All that good stuff.
It's April 14th, a week earlier than usual. Same address, mswalk.org.
And we'll have you on to talk about that as well.
We'll be down at Walla Walla again at 1 o'clock.
Absolutely. Count us in.
Count us in. Good.
There's a number of questions about this living with autoimmunity that we didn't ask about. How much is this going to cost me?
It is free.
Get out of town.
Yes. Come on in.
You can charge admission and get away with it. People will pay.
Probably could.
How come you don't?
We want them to buy Patty's honey.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
have
fair
money
enough.
we figured it was more important we got the people there.
Okay, that's probably
than to charge.
A strong message.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but you want people to...
We want them to register.
You want a general idea in advance how many people are showing up.
Right. And so we have two ways. We have a website, and I'll tell you right now that a few people have told me they've had problems with the website. So if you can't get on the website, then we also have a phone number. So the website is www.autoimmunity.org, or call Judy or Dick at 509-679-0671. And Dan said he'll have this on his website.
Yeah, we'll put it up. We'll absolutely, we'll get this taken care of. I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
I hope one of these days, and I know this sounds funny, one of these days I never have to talk to you on the show again. Which means lupus is done. MS done. We conquered it. We found it.
Right.
That
And I
would
have
be
one
great.
more
Real
little
quickly.
line I want to say why we're having it, because you can live more effectively and comfortably with more knowledge.
You're good.
Judy.
It's a quote. Everybody have a
It's a
great
quote.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.